Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel, Cliff's Dark Gems. Today I'm going to be doing a very special book tag called the Valoween Book Tag, which was created by E.D. Lewis Reviews. So stay tuned and enjoy. Okay everyone, this tag consists of 5 prompts. And the question number 1, or the prompt number 1 is, have you ever had a crush on a fictional character? If yes, which character was it? Now I had to think quite carefully about this one because, well, I read horror mainly, and normally all those women, I have to think very carefully now about what I say because my wife's in front of me behind the camera, but all those women in the horror movies and horror novels, they might be attractive, but they get killed off so quickly that you don't really have time to develop too much of a crush on them. Or either they're doing the killing or they're getting killed. So anyway, I had to think a little bit outside the box here, and I went and I looked at Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, but in fact the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I don't know if it was a book or the Peter Jackson movie series, but I think it's Eowyn, or perhaps Arwen, that got me excited, the elf.
Arwen.
Arwen. Okay, I need to be very careful what I say here, but if I think of anyone that I had a crush on besides my wife, then maybe it was Arwen, the dark-haired elf. So yeah, that's my answer to prompt number 1. Okay, now we come to prompt number 2, and this is, love can be sweet, love can be naughty. Name an erotic novel, oh my word. Name an erotic novel, horror or otherwise. Now, if I think very carefully, there's really only one author that I know in horror that writes seriously erotic stuff. And I don't mean as in beautiful stuff, I mean seriously sick, twisted, perverted stuff. And I can think of one novel, Cold Hard Canyon, Clive Barker, where there's kind of a gentle, not so gentle love story between a woman from the golden age of Hollywood who should have been dead many years ago, who has a relationship with a modern age kind of heartthrob who's been disfigured, and let's just say that their romanticism and their relationship is not exactly run-of-the-mill. There's a bit of S&M involved. There are other ghosts involved. Okay, I'm not going to go further with that, I think you get my drift. This is not your typical erotic novel. Okay everyone, next prompt is Tainted Love, and that asks us to name a book featuring a twisted, toxic and traumatic relationship. Now there are 2 books that I have in mind here. The first one being Rose Madder by Stephen King, where there is an incredibly psychotic husband, incredibly abusive husband, who beats on his wife and she runs out on him. And yeah, really it's kind of a terrifying relationship, and he is after her. It's a terrifying novel, a scary novel with a little bit of a supernatural twist at the end, but the actual dynamic between his husband and wife, ooh, terrifying. But what actually won out for me in the end was The Amulet by Michael McDowell, and this is because it's a very disturbing 3-way relationship between a husband and wife. The wife's husband's mother, who's a terrible figure, who forces her to look after the husband after he becomes catatonic, basically after an accident. So she has the most terrible life. She has to feed him while he's lying there, he can't move, force food down his throat. This is a toxic 3-way relationship from hell. Okay, prompt number 4 is the dark side. Sometimes the one you love is a monster, and sometimes it's you. Name a book featuring a monster. human or inhuman. Now, it didn't take me too long to decide on this. My choice for this one is Bram Stoker's Dracula. Okay, it can only be Dracula, ladies and gentlemen. The famous Count of Transylvania, who, when he's out at war, his beloved, thinking that he is dead, but she's been deceived, throws herself off the top of the castle, the towers, and commits suicide. This sets him off in a rage, and he renounces God and becomes the monster Dracula. And you move forward centuries, and then he finds a woman that resembles her, the love of his life, and he pursues this woman. Now, the big difference between the book and the movie, and I loved the movie, I thought it was superbly well done, with Gary Oldman as Dracula. But in the movie, she returns his love, and it is almost a tragic love story. In the book, it is entirely different. In the book, he forces her to take his blood, and she can't stand him. She hates him, every ounce of her being, for the creature that he is. So that's a serious difference right there. Okay, everyone, we come to my last prompt, which is Twisted Heart, a great betrayal, which is obviously a betrayal that takes place in a piece of fiction or between characters. And I've chosen a fantasy series for a change, and that is The Chronicles of Thomas Covenant the Unbeliever. And this is right at the beginning of the series, and it's in the first book, Lord Foul Bane. Now, what actually happens is Thomas Covenant finds himself in this other world, and he's a leper, and he doesn't want to be helped. He's a miserable creature, and I know that this book has received so many mixed reviews. It is so polarizing, because this guy is not a pleasant character at all, on any level. And in fact, in the first couple of chapters, at the beginning of the book, while he's in this beautiful land, he commits the most atrocious act of betrayal on the woman, this young lady that tries to help him, tries to save him, and actually leads him down this mountain. And that betrayal has consequences through the entire series, or at least through the entire first chapter of the first book. But yeah, this is definitely the biggest act of betrayal that I can think of off the top of my head. That is Lord Foul Bane, Thomas Covenant the Unbeliever. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I'd just like to say have a happy Valentine's Day. I know my pal over here is having a very happy Valentine's Day because I gave him a flower. But I hope you all have a great day. And I know that I'm supposed to tag a lot of people. I tried in the last tag video I made. I just want to leave this open. Anyone who would still like to do this over the next few days or this month, feel free to do it. But all the best to all of you. Keep those pages turning. And by the way, please like and subscribe and give a comment in the comments below. Cheers.